Jaina Bosonko, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studio on Kariba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. And now here are the main local and international news headlines. There was unwanted drama for the flight carrying the second batch of intended pilgrims from the Gambia after they were denied passage over Mali after a 2-hour journey and returned to the Gambia. On the other hand, the first batch of Gambian pilgrims left for Mecca on Sunday for this year's Hajj, and they have landed safely in Saudi Arabia. President Adama Barrow led supporters of his National People's Party on Saturday for a day-long cleansing exercise of the capital city, Banjul. And in international news, at the ongoing ECOWAS Parliament, the West Africa Tax Administration Forum has called for support to tax administration through vibrant tax laws to deter tax evasion in the sub-region. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Jaina Bosonko, and thank you for joining us. You're watching QTV News. Now, the flight carrying the second batch of intended pilgrims from the Gambia was denied passage over Mali after a 2-hour journey and returned to the Gambia for failing to obtain an overflight permit from Mali Civil Aviation Authority to fly through its airspace to Medina. Mumdulamin Choi has the rest of that.
The second batch of intending pilgrims from the Gambia boarded a flight by Flynas and departed Banjul International Airport for Medina at 13 minutes to midnight. But that journey was to face a setback 2 hours later. This is due to the flight operator's failure to secure the required permit from Mali, through whose airspace the flight was meant to pass.
The flight, after 2 hours into the flight, when it entered the Malian airspace, the Malian authorities denied it to fly through their airspace on grounds that it does not hold a valid overflight permit. And as such, the pilot took the right decision to fly back to home base, because we first think of safety and then everything else follows. And the safest thing to do at the time was to come back, land the pilgrims back safely, so that we look at the issue at hand with a view to come out with a solution as quickly as possible.
It is the responsibility of the flight operator, in this case Flynas, to obtain an overflight permit from the countries whose airspace it flies through the journey. It was the same airline operator that had flown the first batch of intending pilgrims from the Gambia, using the same route, but with the overflight permit from Mali. A failure to obtain the right permit led to Mali denying the flight passage through its airspace.
But prior to departure, obviously, we did follow routine protocols. The pilot was asked whether they have overflight permit, and he confirmed that they have. And he shared the permit number with us, which we shared with Senegal, who manages our upper limit airspace. Senegal could not confirm at the time, but allowed the flight to depart. But when they went through Mali, Mali said, no, this is a wrong flight permit number.
The unfortunate turn of events led local authorities to negotiate with Mali and Liberia for the flight to use the airspace of either of these two countries to Medina. In the wake of the flight returning to the Gambia, due to the lack of a valid overflight permit from Mali, travel operators sought to restore calm and hope among the intending pilgrims, who, understandably, would have been worried. Here is Mahmoud M. Juf, the Hajj Operations Manager of Obi Travel Agency.
Most of our pilgrims, because this is their first time even coming to the airport, so you'll see that a bit of frustration. Some were panicky, thinking that the journey is cancelled. But we worked on their mindsets, and we were able to, at least engage them, explain to them in simple terms, and all of them understood what happened, and everything is, alhamdulillah, is normalized.
Finally, negotiations with Mali have yielded positive results, as the country has granted permission for the flight carrying the intending pilgrims to pass through its airspace. The second flight has departed for Medina at 4 p.m. on Monday. Mahmoud Lamin Chai, QTV News.
We wish them a safe arrival. Now, on the other hand, the first batch of Gambian pilgrims left for Mecca on Sunday for this year's Hajj, and the pilgrims are reported to have landed safely in Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, the Minister of Religious Affairs, speaking on behalf of President Adama Barrow, has called for the pilgrims to pray for the Gambia, be united and be ambassadors for the Gambia throughout the Hajj period. Mumdulamin Choi again.
This is the first batch of 2022 pilgrims from the Gambia, comprising 433 of the 999 slots the Gambia is limited to for this year's pilgrimage to Mecca. This batch is the first to embark on this lifetime journey since 2019 due to the COVID-19 travel restrictions, which have now been slightly lifted for external visitors. After completing all the travel protocols, some of the intending pilgrims wait anxiously and excitedly to board the flight. This is understandable, as for some of them, they are about to embark for the first time on a journey towards fulfilling one of the 5 pillars of Islam. The intending pilgrims are going to Mecca through 9 travel operators. One of them is Tier 1 Travel and Tours, whose managing director, Adletsi, shares some words of advice to the intending pilgrims.
So let them have some patience. I always talk about patience. Patience, sabr, muñ. I always talk about it. Let them think. Let them bear with each other. Let them help each other. Let them know that they are all brothers and sisters. The younger pilgrims help the older ones, like their mothers and their fathers.
Apart from performing the Hajj, some of the intending pilgrims are going to Mecca with a bunch of wishes to beseech Allah's blessings. Saul Fraser, an estate developer who is also an intending pilgrim, tells us about his plan aside from performing the Hajj.
My first priority is to honor one of the requirements of Islam. And the second is obviously to pray for myself, for my family, for my country, and for everybody that has contributed in my life one way or the other. But most importantly, pray for humanity in overall. Yeah.
As the intending pilgrims wait for departure, officials from the National Hajj Commission, including the President of the Supreme Islamic Council, delivered final remarks advising the intending pilgrims to perform Hajj and be each other's brother's keeper while in Saudi Arabia. The Minister of Lands and Religious Affairs, Sharif Abbasanyang, on behalf of President Adama Barrow, speaks to the intending pilgrims.
And he endorsed you people to pray for the Gambian people. And he encouraged you to understand that we are leaving our country as ambassadors to another country. Guard or safeguard what you have, but also protect yourself from whatever you find outside. And then let's be a brother's keeper. Let's love each other, help each other through thick and thin for everybody to come back to the Gambia in peace.
And now comes departure time. The flight allocated to pilgrims from the Gambia is Flynas, a Saudi Arabian airline. Most of this year's intending pilgrims are women, some of whom are youngsters. After everyone boards, the flight takes off on Sunday at nearly half an hour after midnight. After an 8-hour flight, the flight lands in Medina, the resting place of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Rituals of Hajj 2022 will commence from the evening of Thursday, 7th of July 2022 and will continue till the evening of Tuesday, 12th of July 2022. The pilgrimage takes around 5 to 6 days and must be completed during this period. Mohamed Lamin Chai, QTV News.
We wish them a successful Hajj. Now, from that story by Mamadou Lamin Choi, we will go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we have some more local news stories for you as well as international. We'll be right back.
Have you been looking for the perfect indoor router with long-range Wi-Fi coverage and faster internet speed connecting all your smart devices? Well, we present to you the QCell Indoor Router, a router that has all you need and much more. For just $4,750, you can get 4G plus internet speed, wide coverage, and connect up to 15 devices. And that's not all. The indoor router can be used for both office and home needs. So, enhance your internet experience with our indoor router. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunubus, we innovate, others follow.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jennifer Sonko. We're still on local news. Now, President Adama Barrow joined supporters of his National People's Party on Saturday for a day-long cleansing exercise of the capital city, Banjul. Speaking to supporters after the exercise, the president said maintaining a clean environment promotes human health and will help preserve infrastructural projects in the city. And Sumane Sonyasi has more.
Countries that have clean private and public spaces, including some of Gambia's neighbors, have populations with fewer illnesses and longer life expectancies compared to countries that do not. In a move that has earned him praise from across the political divide, President Barrow, accompanied by his vice president and several cabinet ministers, joined his party supporters to clean the city. His party is being widely commended for what even some of his stern critics describe as an initiative worthy of praise. But for President Barrow, this was not done for publicity. It was a move driven by a desire to encourage the frequent cleaning of one's environment, especially public places. He tells journalists that such exercises will help preserve his government's infrastructural projects in the city, thereby ensuring longevity. And though organized by the NPP, he says this should not be viewed as a political exercise, but rather an important exercise that seeks to promote health and a clean environment.
I feel that as head of state, it is my responsibility to make sure and to call the people so that we can come out, volunteer to clean our city. We don't have any other place in this country more than Banjul. Banjul is for everybody. I lived in Banjul for around almost about 17, 20 years. So I know exactly the way Banjul used to be. But today is a different thing completely. But to complement this work, we have to clean Banjul.
He also revealed plans to organize similar cleaning exercises at least once a month and encourages Gambians to frequently embark on similar community service initiatives, adding that his administration takes environment and health issues very seriously.
And also I think we have to think beyond just coming out to clean Banjul. We should think of countrywide. I think we will come out with another nomenclature to clean the Gambia once a month. But we will propose names for it, a name that is very fit, a name that is unifying, a name that is calling on every Gambian to be part of it. We decide on that name and we decide on at least once a month so that we will come out and clean our environment.
Honorable Sidin Jai, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly and spokesperson of the National People's Party, Ministers for Health and Local Government, Dr. Ahmad Lamin Samate and Sirif Abasanyang, respectively, all spoke on the importance of this exercise.
The health aspect of it is key, and that is one of the reasons why the president asked us to come out and clean. And we want to thank everybody, the entire Banjulian who came out.
Because most of the infectious diseases are related to the environment. You know of cholera, you know of many causes of diarrhea and vomiting, gastroenteritis and so many other things. You know of malaria. All those things are related to the cleanliness of the environment.
I mean, cleansing exercise is very significant in one's life in general. We need to cleanse our homes, we need to cleanse our compounds, we need to cleanse our streets. And this is a public place. We need to make it clean for everybody. And it's going to maintain health, it's going to improve everything. Because without a good health, everything in the economic development of any state is down.
Basir Ndong, an ardent NPP supporter, and Mas Agzigai, an executive member of the National People's Party, also urged Gambians to frequently embark on similar initiatives. Saturday's exercise also gave the president an opportunity to assess the progress of ongoing infrastructural work in the city. And having toured the entire city, clearing waste and interacting with residents, he says he is impressed with what he saw. Saturday's exercise was also supported by personnel of the various security outfits and the Banjul City Council. Ansmane Sonyasi for QTV News.
Now, the Gambia Bankers Association held their 5th annual Bankers Celebration and Awards Night on Saturday, marking 20 years since their formation. Our reporter Momodu Gajaga attended the ceremony at the Sir Dawda Kairaba International Conference Center, and he now reports.
This year's event was held under the theme Innovation and Deepening the Gambia's Financial Sector for Growth and Investment. It was a night of celebration for bankers, financial institutions, and some clients to reflect on their achievements and award some deserving staff of various banks. The Bankers Association was established 20 years ago to bring the banking sector together. Here is Binta Jane, the president of the Gambia Bankers Association.
The Bankers Association started 20 years ago, at which time there were only 5 banks. Today, we have 12 banks in total in the country. It was necessary then at the time for managing directors, they thought, to be getting together over lunch to share experiences and success stories. By the time the number of banks got to 12 in the country, they decided then to set up the Bankers Association.
Highlighting some of their achievements over the past 2 decades, Binta Jane says they were able to establish an institution for building the capacities of banking sector workers. Their membership has also grown significantly.
In addressing the talent gap challenges, the association, in collaboration with the Chartered Institute of Bankers in Nigeria and the Central Bank of the Gambia, established the Institute of Bankers in January 2011 to help develop the human capital requirements of the Gambia's banking industry.
The Central Bank of the Gambia governor was represented by Paul Mendy, one of his deputies. He spoke about some of the current global economic realities.
The tensions and complexities in the international scene have aggravated the already difficult situation created by the COVID-19 pandemic. Such challenges transmit to the financial system through numerous channels, including declining trade, inflationary pressures, unstable exchange rates, etc.
C.D. Cater, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, says banks in the Gambia are financially stable under the supervision of the Central Bank of the Gambia, adding that the banks play a key role in the financial flows of the economy.
The banks, the government, and the society are the 3 pillars of any economic system. The government role is to create the enabling environment, come up with prudential policies, accommodative oversight of banks, whilst the banks, being the custodian of resources, are here to support the government policies so that both of them work for the society at large.
The Bankers Award night also had entertainment and a lavish dinner. Artists such as Nene Jalisuso, Barhama Cham, and Bright Stars Entertainment made the night a special one for the attendees. Mumudu Gajaga, KTV News.
Looks colorful. Now let's take a look at news beyond our borders. Now, the West Africa Tax Administration Forum has called for support to tax administration through vibrant tax laws to deter tax evasion in the sub-region as it affects domestic revenue mobilization for national development. Alusisa reports from Abuja.
The West Africa Administration Forum, known as WATAF, is a body of tax administration comprised of 15 member countries in the sub-region. Its core mandate is to encourage strong collaboration and sharing information among its members to improve the quality of tax administration in West Africa. It does this through capacity building for tax administrators and holds high-level meetings where current issues affecting tax administration are discussed. It was established in September 2011 in Abuja by a resolution signed by Benin, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, and the Gambia. The sub-regional body is currently chaired by Yankuba Dabo, the Commissioner General of the Gambia Revenue Authority. Addressing ECOWAS parliamentarians as part of a series of interactive sessions with invited organizations, Babatunde Oladapo, Executive Secretary of WATAF, said West Africa has the lowest tax to GDP ratio in the world. For example, among the selected countries in 2019, Cabo Verde had the highest with 20.6%, ahead of Burkina Faso, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Ghana, Mali, Niger, and Nigeria.
Some of our members are even hovering around 6% against the recommended level of tax to GDP ratio. And what that means, it means we will continue to look up to others to fund our development programs. It means we will be asking for borrowing money, which is also what has been happening globally and is even best seen in developing countries. We are borrowing to fund our development. And that necessitated our call to the parliament so that we can amplify the collective desire of tax administration in West Africa to elicit the support we need to make tax administration and tax revenue the bane of our development.
ECOWAS members are urged to rethink their political economic positions and involve themselves effectively in the various discussions on the emerging issues. Among other suggestions, ECOWAS members call for harmonization of tax laws and standards within the sub-region. They also suggest the need to introduce tax on businesses done on the internet, citing Ghana that has introduced a controversial electronic levy or taxation system. Reporting for QTV News from Abuja, Nigeria, I am Aliu Sise.
From that story from Aliu Sise in Abuja, Nigeria, we'll now recap our main headlines before we leave you. There was unwanted drama for the flights carrying the second batch of intended pilgrims from the Gambia after they were denied passage over Mali after a 2-hour journey and returned to the Gambia. On the other hand, the first batch of Gambian pilgrims left for Mecca on Sunday for this year's Hajj, and they have landed safely in Saudi Arabia. President Adama Barrow led supporters of his National People's Party on Saturday for a day-long cleansing exercise of the capital city, Banjul. In international news, at the ongoing ECOWAS Parliament, the West Africa Tax Administration Forum has called for support to tax administration through vibrant tax laws to deter tax evasion in the sub-region. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.